So all right. I think we should be live. Hello, guys. Happy Friday. It doesn't feel like Friday, but it feels like Friday, does it?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a 3-day weekend, isn't it?
So my son did not have school today. And
okay.
Do you guys have a 3-day weekend on Monday?
I believe so. That's what my kids told me. So unless they're lying.
We'll find out on Monday.
Yeah.
He had off of school today. And then plus it was a snowstorm up here in Wisconsin. So we got like 9 to like 12 inches of snow all in one afternoon. So I was sitting here going, I think I just need to get on a plane and go visit Star, because I don't know. Do you go by Estrella or do you go by Star? What do we want to do?
You could call it Star. Most people call me Star. I feel like only my family and like my husband call me Estrella. Yeah,
we can do that, and that makes the most sense. So I will give an introduction because we just kind of started going the talk between the two of us. But I want to welcome Star to the MOTO Mom live stream tonight. So fantastic to have you on. It's been a long time in the works, and I've been counting down the days till February when I get a chance to talk to you. So, and plus with everything that I'm sure you're going to be sharing later tonight, it's the perfect time to do that for your sake too.
It really is.
Do you want to kind of give a little rundown of yourself, where you are from, what you do, where you ride, all of that to the people that may not be as familiar with you as what I am? So,
of course. Okay, yeah. So my name is Star, and so I own 2 motorcycles. I have the Indian Scout Bobber, and I also have the FTR 1200S. Nice. And I am here in California, Central Valley, Fresno, California. It's pretty nice here right now.
I know. I was like, let's just switch for a weekend. Can we do that? Would that be possible? Anybody here up in the north wind is like, I'm just slightly jealous of your beautiful, gorgeous weather that you have down there. Because does it ever get like harsh? What's like the harshest weather that you've had to endure?
I mean, so our winters aren't too bad.
Right.
I think overnight it'll get maybe in the 30s. But it's our summers that can hit like, 113.
Have you ridden in that type of weather?
I think the hottest I've ridden was like 109 or like 17. I can't remember why.
I was down in Vegas in middle of August. Didn't think this through. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go down there because I have the weekend planned out. It was 112. I think was the highest. And like I was going to do Death Valley area, and that on record this last year was the highest it had ever hit. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a good thing I didn't make it out that way. But I can see where like our summers up here are just probably like perfect weather for your sake. But when your summers hit, it's got to be AC all the way.
It can get pretty brutal. I actually prefer the summer over the winter. I'm not a big fan of the cold, so I'll stay here.
So have you always been in California? Is that
yeah, I've always been here. Yeah.
So born and raised, and that's where. So you have 3 little ones too, correct? You guys are there?
I have 3 little ones. Yeah, I've got.
I say little, but they're not. Like the picture that I've shared on Instagram, they're not.
No, they're not. They're gonna. I have my older 2 are twins. They're actually going to be 10 next month, and then my youngest is 8.
Fantastic. And that probably went by very quickly. That 10 years so far.
Oh, absolutely.
So how did you start getting into riding? Let's kind of jump back into what's your history? How did you?
Yeah. So let's see. So really what it started, it's kind of funny. So I didn't mention I am still a college student.
Okay.
So I'm still working on my bachelor's degree. And when I started riding, I was attending my previous college. And the parking situation there was really horrible. And because of the kiddos, I would drop them off at school, and I had like a really short time to get to my class, like park and get to class.
Sure.
And so I kind of jokingly was like, I need to get a motorcycle so I could just like park in and like be good. I'll just walk to class. There's always like motorcycle stalls open. And my husband had previously rode. When I met
Okay.
him, he actually rode. And so he was kind of like, yeah, do it. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
I was supposed to only ride to school.
But then you took off and ran with it, probably.
Yeah, and then I was like running errands with it.
You couldn't get yourself off the bike, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no, I was not getting off of it.
So you're in college yet. What are you studying for?
Liberal studies to be a teacher.
Okay. That's fantastic. Do you have age group range that you want to?
I want to do the little ones. I want to
Okay.
do special education, and I'm
That's
hoping to do like the kinder pre-K type age. Yeah.
Good work. When I started my college career, I thought I was going to be an art teacher. I was like, yes, this is the path I'm going to take. This is what I want to do. I shadowed once and went, I don't know if I'm cut out for this, but like, I give you all the credit. Like, I feel like you were going to be a natural completely at that. So I give
We will
you
see.
along with everybody else that is in that teaching field for that sake. It's crazy. So fantastic. Well, that's awesome. And it's good to kind of get the background of what kind of helped you start. And so how far in years wise had that been for your sake? When you started?
It's been 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dang.
I just recently got like this little, the Facebook memories, and it was like that first time I took the bike out to go practice, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 3 years already. I've been saying 2 to everyone. I didn't even realize it's already been 3 years.
So you had Scout Bobber first, or did you have a different bike?
I started on the Scout Bobber.
Okay, and so you still have that bike, correct?
Yes.
What made you kind of decide that as your first bike for your sake?
I saw a picture of it. My husband, so like we were talking about it, and he sent me a picture. And at first I was like, that's a beautiful bike. And then once I realized it was an Indian, I was like, oh my God, I've kind of always wanted an Indian. So it just was perfect. And after that, I there was no change in my mind. Yeah, I considered the Triumph Bobber.
Okay.
We went to go look at it, but no, I think the Indian name was the one that like
it was fitting for you.
It's that one.
Fantastic. So you started with the bobber, and then how long ago did you break into the FTR then? Like,
so we are coming up on a year next month.
Okay. Wow. Like, what made you decide, yes, I need to add an additional bike to the garage? Because like I'm over here going, how many can I fit in my garage?
I know, right?
I can move the car and it'll fit.
Honestly, I just felt like I wanted to become a better rider, and I felt like the FTR was a perfect bike for me to do that on. I know that personally for our lifestyle, like a bigger bagger type, bigger cruiser, it's not, no, we really don't, I don't travel too often.
Sure.
And so the longer rides are, exactly, I'm a daily commute, lane splitting, get to school, get to what I need to do type of rider. So the FTR was just perfect for that.
For it. So what's the difference? Like, is there a complete difference for people that maybe are not as familiar with the bobber to the FTR? Like, what's the major differences, and why'd you keep both? I guess is another question.
Yeah. So I think the biggest difference is the height. Like the Scout Bobber is a super low bike, like pretty low, like one of those bikes that you're gonna scrape often while you're leaning. And the FTR is really high. Really tall. And so in fact, the new FTR models are going to be lower. The seats are lower. Yeah, because I know a lot of people, I don't want to say they complained. They just kind of didn't commit to the bike because of the height. So that's going to be the number one difference. And the bobber is more of like, it's a cruiser. It's kind of one of those, it's the looker is what I like to call it. It's the one that turns heads, the ones that people will come up to me, or I come out of wherever I'm at and there's like men standing around it.
And they're like, what is this?
Yeah. And the FTR doesn't do it as much. People don't do that as much with the FTR.
It has a certain like look and appeal to it. So I was out in Idaho, Wyoming. I was visiting a new Instagram friend that I met out there. She has a 2017 bobber, and it's like white and all blacked out too. So like when we're sitting at the gas station, she's got her Sportster and she also has the bobber, and there was people coming up and be like, what is that bike? And I was like, it's not mine. Technically it's hers, but yeah, it It's a fantastic ride. And I ride a Sportster right now. And so I'm curious to see what the difference is from the FTR to the Sportster and height wise. But you're 100% right when it comes to the bobber side of it. So
yeah, it's a head turner, that guy.
That's fantastic. So does your husband ride either of those two? Do you guys go out on?
He will ride. So that's not often that we ride together.
Okay.
If we do, we will take the bikes and we'll switch usually.
Sure.
There's times where we'll literally put them in neutral and switch on a stoplight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but we just don't get the opportunity to do it as much. And with his work, he drives a truck, and so he doesn't ride to work or anything like that. So, but when we do, it's pretty fun and it's special because it doesn't happen often.
No, you take full advantage of those times too.
Oh, absolutely.
But for your sake, I can see we're juggling kiddos and school and all of that together. You kind of need that escape to go. And especially, I don't know, city-wise, out here in Wisconsin, like the traffic where I'm at is very, very minimal at all. So I don't know. For your sake, I've watched some of, I think one of your videos, and we can kind of go into the moto vlogging part of my questions, but were you like, California's lane splitting, correct? Like it's
yes.
to do. So for my sake, I'm watching some of the videos and I'm like, I have to hold my breath because I can't do it. And I'm sure that's like just completely natural for you, correct? I don't know. How do you get over that fear? For me, I think that's one of the largest things. If I ever go out and ride, I'm going to out in California. But how did you manage that? Or do you still fight it?
No, lane splitting is it's a breeze now. It's crazy. Yeah, I think the first time I did it, I was riding with a friend from school. It was my first college, and he was kind of like, gestured to lane split. And I was like in my head, like, oh my God, no,
Right.
And he went, so I was like, all right. So I just
commit.
followed. Yeah, I had to commit. And like after that, I just, at first it was a little, you had your moments of like, oh, this is scary. But no, it's easy now.
It's natural for your
cars are holding still. I mean, I don't do it often on the freeway because I don't really need to. Our traffic isn't that bad here.
Good.
It's definitely more of the smaller streets, stoplights. When the light turns green, I want to be the first one off the line. I don't want to wait. So that kind of lane splitting.
That's crazy. So as like an actual like vehicle car driver, are they aware of like, how does this describe to me how this works? Because like, do they see you pretty much come right up to them? Like, do you make them aware that you're there, or how does that work?
So usually, especially if I'm the bobber, they're gonna hear me.
Good.
Depending if I noticed the driver beforehand, if I feel like I need to let them know I'm coming, I will rev. But usually, sometimes they don't even see until you pass, and they kind of get like a little like, oh. I mean, I'm a driver here too, so it's happened to me. You're just kind of focused, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, what was that?
Somebody there.
Yeah. So that's usually how it works. And then you get up to the front and you kind of make your way. You choose a lane. Sometimes you stay in the middle. I usually choose a lane and I just wait there. I usually won't go into neutral if I'm lane splitting because I got to be quick.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just in awe, and I'm sure there's people watching this right now going, "Yeah, this is normal. This is But
here in Cali, it is.
I had to ask the question. Now that we started talking about it, it's piqued my interest. But whenever I do get over and down there, I need to at least try, and I probably will have to be by your side just so that you can walk me through it.
For sure.
That's awesome. So you've been riding for 3 years and you've started, and mostly I think I've been familiar with you from your Instagram account. So when I first got back into the riding scene, I saw like your pictures have always popped up on my Instagram account, and I was like, yes, this is fantastic. And they just kept coming, and I love every single one that you have been posting from that. But how did that grow to what you have created so far?
Yeah. So it's crazy. I have like my personal Instagram where my family, my friends, and I just kind of was like, I'm gonna start posting pictures of the motorcycle. Like I would start posting there. And I kind of was like, no, they're gonna get so annoyed.
Let him have it. Let him have it.
Yeah. And so I made another account. Actually, it used to be a makeup account.
Okay.
And it only had like 200 followers. And I just kind of like deleted everything, was like, hey, this is now for like my motorcycle. And yeah, it just kind of started from there. I was posting pictures. I would take selfies. Before I knew it, a photographer had messaged me and was asking to take my pictures. And I was like, why?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was like, I remember telling my husband, like, should I trust her? Like, is this a joke? And after that, like, it just never stopped. Photographers would hit me up and or DM me, and so I would just do photo shoots all the time. And now it is where it's at. I did never expected for it to be where it's at right now.
No.
Trust me.
So this wasn't something when you started it. You just had envisioned like just sharing your bike and your experience with it, and it's grown into this whole different realm that you weren't expecting. So how has that? So you said that these photographers had reached out as far as like modeling. Is it with your bike always, or have you done other certain like modeling sessions? How did that?
Yeah. So it used to be mostly only my bike. Okay. Yeah, and then I don't remember exactly when, but it was kind of recently. I kind of got away from shooting with the bike, and I would do without my motorcycles. Yeah. At first, it was really weird. I felt like I was missing something. Like I always wanted to like lean on something, and I'm like, where? Yeah, I have like nothing. I just was like, I would stand there, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? And yeah, I know, like I don't have nowhere to put these. And so yeah, I just kind of I even now have a additional account that's just dedicated to the modeling, because I do so many photo shoots without my motorcycle now, where I was like, where am I going to post these? Again, I didn't want to annoy my family, like, look at these pictures of myself.
I guess. But that confidence that you give off with it is just incredible. I have to say, like, it's amazing to see. And each day it's always something new. And you always feel like you have something in the vault that is shown. I love it.
Yeah.
So what's kind of the next step then for you in this motorcycling? So you're motorcycle influencer, how kind of, for those that may have not known, I kind of lead into it, what's new on your side of it that's came up recently?
So I recently was picked for the Indian Ambassador program, which is crazy. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I don't know. I felt like, okay, they're going to pick me, but then there's still that like little part of me like, nah, I don't know if I'm really what they're looking for. It's one of those things where, like, if they didn't pick me, I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing because I love to do it. So, but they did, and I'm excited.
I guess. So can you give a little bit more to those that may not know like what that all entails? So you are a brand ambassador for this 2021 year for Indian. What does that look like for your sake or workload?
So I don't fully know.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's like literally new, like less than 24 hours new, correct?
Absolutely. So I don't have like I don't have any information, I guess. I know we're having a meeting soon in the future. So hopefully after that I'll get a little more information, because really all I got was, you've been picked. Congratulations, sign this, and that's it. You can post this on Instagram
and we'll go from there. So stay tuned to your accounts then to see where that blossoms and grows. Well, congratulations from my end and everybody else. I just recently so I went out to Sturgis area this summer, and that's where I kind of ended up in Idaho, Wyoming area. But that female offered to lend me her Scout Bobber. And before then, I had never been on an Indian before. I was like, okay, maybe I'll try this and I'll see if I like it. And I absolutely loved it, and I was hooked. So like once that next weekend rolled around, I tried a Chieftain, and then this past September, I tried a Challenger too. So I kind of went the opposite, like touring, but like from your end, it's so completely different. From me, I'm like, I have like dreams of long distance riding and doing that sort of thing. So for me, I don't know if a Scout Bobber would really be as like useful and beneficial than a like chieftain or a challenger or something like that. So that's where it's piqued my interest, and I really have loved riding some of those motorcycles. Have you had a chance to ride anything else from the lineup yet?
I haven't, no, and I need to. I mean, I can go and test ride,
Yeah.
anything really. I just haven't.
You don't have the
I
time.
kind of,
I like feel like
yeah.
just
I
schedule
know,
this next to the next thing that you have to do.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm excited about what's coming out from Indian soon, so maybe I'll want that. I don't know. I know though, if I do get a third bike, I can't believe I'm saying that, but if I do get a third bike, it'll be a bigger cruiser because I don't have one, and I don't know. That's me personally. I don't feel like it makes sense to have two similar bikes. Like try them all, have them all, different types of rides.
And it's like picking your favorite child. Oh, which one do I have to go with?
Yeah. Which one gives me the least problems?
That's a good analogy for it. So for your sake, let's kind of dive into more of the family side. So you have 3 little ones. How was that? And so you started this career within the last like 3 years. So they haven't been like, they're not 3 years old too. So how did you manage that as far as juggling riding versus taking care of family?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I felt like I wasn't as committed as I am now.
Okay.
And then once I got serious with it, I think really what it was making sure I separated my writing, because my writing for me is my time. Like, I didn't want to make it to where like I'm writing just to go and take pictures, content for the Instagram.
Yes, absolutely.
So I would put away, like, and then the kids would come with us. But we would do like a weekend thing. Like we'll choose a weekend of the month, like a Saturday, whatever. And we would all go. I would bring different outfits. My husband would ride the bike to the location. He would take the pictures.
Like my jam right now. I wish this
yeah.
was awesome.
And like the kids would just kind of like hang out. Sometimes they would like take the pictures, they'll hang out in the car, they'll bring a tablet. And I would change outfits in the car, and I would have like all these pictures kind of just like,
yeah,
like you adventure, like I do. I have them kind of just in my little archive here, and then I would post them, and that was how it worked for us because, I didn't want it to. My biggest thing was I didn't want it to interfere with my writing time because my mom time, being a mom, it just that's all I do. Like I'm like a mom 100% of the time. So my writing is like the only time where I'm like, no, that's just me. Exactly. I don't have to worry about any of the house stuff.
Everything else that comes along with it. You can kind of take that hat off for that brief, however long ride is, and be like, okay, I'm off duty for X amount of time. And like, that's completely true from my end too. So I'm sure myself and anybody here in the comments too can absolutely relate from that side of it. So for the kiddo side, how have they been interested in it? I know you said your husband had ride. Have they gotten any of the or?
Wait, let me see. So my daughter didn't used to. So I have the twins are a boy and a girl, and then I have another son. So I have only one daughter, and she was kind of like, no,
not quite.
But now she is. Now she's interested. Now she says she wants to. So I'm pretty excited about that. Her twin brother has always been interested in riding. He wants to ride. He likes the FTR, so he's a sports kid.
Like the general direction they're going to probably go into. Personality-wise. Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then my youngest, I don't think he's going to ride. My youngest has special needs, so I don't see that in his future, unless something changes. But right now, he doesn't like the sound. Like if I turn them on, he'll like. He does not. He's like but not like in a. Yep. He's scared of it, but more of like a don't do that. Yeah.
For sure. That's crazy though. So you kind of have to juggle a mix of all sorts of personalities when it comes to the kiddos and riding. So, well, hopefully I was like, what's the age range? 15, 16, right? I think it is for when they officially can ride themselves. I don't know. I haven't dug into, like, they're still too young for us to think about it. We don't want to think about it. It's almost like getting their license. And I was like, oh God, that's
my
only
goodness.
X amount of time away.
I know. It's crazy.
I don't want to be that reminder, but that's it'll come up quicker than what mentioned.
Yeah.
Oh man. So how for you, like, so you kind of shared a little bit of the time away for riding that's yours. But how has motorcycling really made you a better mom? Has there any correlation to that side of it for your sake?
Yeah, I think just like any mom, I think we definitely need time to kind of give ourselves time to be ourselves and do something that's going to be for ourselves, because then we come back and we are recharged and ready to tackle on all the stuff that goes on. Yeah, and I think that all moms have it. We all have something, and mine just happens to be riding motorcycles. Like, that's just it. Yeah.
You've hit the nail 100% on that side.
Yeah.
For your sake, what's one thing I guess you're looking forward to for the rest of this year? I wouldn't say like the start of this year, because it still feels like it's almost, I don't know, from my sake, our start of the year starts in like April, May timeframe for riding. But like, what's kind of ahead? What have you envisioned for yourself and riding for this year?
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited about the ambassador thing, so I'm hoping that that'll bring a little more group riding. I don't do group rides very often. And I think it's just because of my personality. I'm not very social, surprisingly.
This is where like I need to break the barrier now. And so now I'm like, okay, now I know you. I'm comfortable with you. We can go ride.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like that. And so, but I feel like doing the ambassador program is kind of gonna push me to do that, out of my comfort zone, which I'm okay with, because we're gonna be on bikes, so I don't have to like look at them in the eyes.
You kind of mentioned this too with your moto vlogging when you started the channel. So I've got links in the description in this live stream too, if you want to check her out. I have her Instagram account as well on here. But you mentioned this as far as like moto vlogging too. Like that's just a whole new adventure that you've started as well.
Yeah, and so with that, just because of COVID and the way everything is right now, I just haven't done a whole lot of moto vlogging. And that's because I don't get to ride as often as I used to. Like pre-COVID, I was riding like 5 to 7 days a week. I was riding to school every day, and then on the weekends I would ride. And now it's kind of the opposite. Yeah, and so riding time to me is so precious that I don't want it to turn into, let me get my GoPro, let me make sure my mic is on, what am I going to talk about? Like, so I kind of just put that, on the back burner just for now. I definitely, that's still a goal of mine to tackle. And I felt like I kind of just dipped my toes in there and I got a taste of it. So I'm coming back with more, don't worry.
No, that's like, I give you so much credit. Like the list just keeps going as far as like what you've done, what you've accomplished within this like 3 short years, and what you just keep pushing yourself to do. So I was just amazed at that and just sharing all of this for people to watch today. It was like, it's incredible to say the least. So thank you. So I want to open it up to the viewers that are on here on the live stream right now. I'm going to open up the comments, but are there any questions that you have for Star that you want to kind of throw her way as a quick question answer sort of thing? I'm going to pull this up too, but yes, I'm absolutely just amazed. And I know I said this before, but when I get out to California, I need to meet up with you because it's bound to happen.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Yes.
Oh man. So I guess for my sake, if I'm because I know the questions as far as like lead time goes, there's like a 10-second delay, I think it is. But my question for you is favorite place to ride to out in California. Where's like your favorite go-to?
My go-to here is I go to Lost Lake, which isn't too far from me.
Okay.
I like it because it's to get there, I have to go on the other side of Fresno.
Oh.
And then once I'm on that side of Fresno, then it's kind of like a little curves, and then there's like this. Sorry, my cat.
I love it. It always seems to make kids. She's got to do. He, she,
she.
That's awesome.
But I like it because it's not super long. Like I said, I'm not much of a long distance rider. I like to like finish my rides wanting more, not feeling like, okay, that was like, I don't want to see that bike for until next week. Because I know I've done long rides. I know what that feeling is like, and I don't like that.
That's awesome. Robin says, can I come ride with y'all? I'm only 3 hours away. I would say.
Yes, of course.
Dustin's asking, any bike travel plans in the next 5 years? That's a question.
Ooh, 5 years. I can definitely see myself going more long distance in the next 5 years because I'd hope to have a bigger bike by then. And then COVID will be done, hopefully. But I don't have anything like, I might go to Texas this year. I don't know if I'm going to take the bike. And if I do, I will definitely put on a trailer because that's a really far ride. But other than that,
how far in hours is it? Because Texas is
Texas.
So.
I know. I want to say like, I don't know. I'd be totally guessing like 2 days, like a day and a half.
Yeah.
It
makes sense.
Yeah.
So plans are in the future, but you kind of leave it up to whatever happens.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it. That's awesome. So Paul's asking, do you two mothers let the kids ride with you, and how old until they ride? Do you want to go first, or?
Yeah, neither any of my kids have ridden with me. I took the stock seat off of the bobber, and then I actually sold my passenger seat. Yeah, kind of quickly. It was kind of last minute. I always planned on taking the kids on it and never got a chance to. And now with the FTR, I don't feel comfortable with taking the kids on there because I'm like, oh, it's so high.
Not
and like,
quite made.
Yeah, so we haven't, and so I don't know. And then for how old when they can ride?
I know.
I don't know. Probably my daughter's younger because it takes a little longer for the boys to mature. I don't know. I guess that's hard to answer. That's hard to answer, to be honest. Yeah.
So we've taken our son like around the block area just so he could get comfortable with it and on it. I took it like it was the end of November here, and there was like a slightly warm day where it was like 40s ish. I was like, all right, need to get the bike out. We got to watch it because it's been sitting there for so long. And so I just took him around there, and I could just hear the squealing in his helmet. He's ready to go, but he couldn't quite put his feet on the passenger pegs yet. And so for my sake, that's where I am like, I don't want to modify it in order for him like to say that he can do it. Like I want him to be tall enough and comfortable enough to do that. He's 6, he'll be 7 next month actually too. But he's still got some like school moments. Like, have you watched the movie Up with the dog?
Yeah.
Like they just he's concentrating, but he sees other stuff that I'm like, please don't fall off this little sweaty. Like there's no backrest or else on it yet. So for my sake, I'm like, I think I have to give him another full year in order to ride with me. I would love to find a sidecar and attach it and do it that way. But yeah, it'll be until they can reach the passenger pegs to do that. But I think I want to find like a dirt bike or something like that for him to ride, because he took 2 classes this summer that I might do that. But we need an area, and we live in the city. Our backyard is literally another house. So
yeah, we would have to travel a little bit just to get like dirt road. Yeah, because there's the EFTR Junior.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We shall see.
Yeah. That's fun though. And it's a battery operated one too, for my sake. I think it's easier for, I don't know. I learned on a little small 50cc carbureted bike, and my dad would always get so mad when I flooded the engine or did certain things. Like, So for me, it's like, all right, is the battery charged? Yes. Okay, let's go ride. I think it might be less maintenance, but who knows how that goes. But yeah, we'll see. So Toby's asking, what is your challenges as a mom in balancing the growth between all your social media accounts? Heck yes.
Okay, so let's see. The balance is, how do I do it?
You can't.
I mean, I think right now, because of the time that we're in, I am literally with my kiddos every like moment. The only time I'm not is if I leave. And well, my school's here at home.
Oh, dang. Oh, that's
so like I'm like, yeah, so like how I am right now, headphones and my laptop, except kids are running around.
How do you focus, lady? Oh my word.
You know, I don't focus. Like I don't no, yeah. And my husband just bought me some new doorknob locks because I was like, I gotta lock the door when my classes are on because so
for me, I can't turn off that mom brain. Like that's not something where I can just be like, nope, I need to do this. There's always something in the back of my mind. Okay, she's too quiet. What is she doing? Or there's always something. So
or you hear like a sound, and you're like, wait, what is that? And then we have like the little rings. So I hear my door open. So if a kiddo is trying to go to the back or something, and I'm like, where are they going? You know, yeah, it's a challenge. But so that kind of makes it easy because I get to leave to do this stuff, I guess, in a sense for myself, where I get to leave to do either if it's a photo shoot, to go ride, or to make content for, Instagram. So, and then my balancing is because I'm here with them like all the time. Like I'm with them all the time. They see mom all the time.
It's not an easy feed, and there's always something new when it comes to like the social media side of it. There's never a spot where you're just like, okay, yep, I've graduated. I know everything I need to know. There's always something that gets done.
Something new. Yeah, always.
Never a dull moment. Jackie is on. She asked, any advice for women who might be interested in riding? Good question.
Oh, that is a good one. I think my first advice would be to get out of your head.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because, especially because I've experienced it firsthand where I was in my head and I was just like constantly doubting myself, like I'm not going to get this, or, I'm never going to learn how to use the clutch, or, I was being almost negative and just doubting my talents and my ability to learn to ride a motorcycle. And I think that held me back for a good while. And once I learned to like talk myself up instead of talking myself down, I was able to do it. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, you're not going to do this. You're going to stall. You're going to stall. You're going to stall.
It's 100% true. Most of it is mental, and I can completely relate from that side of it. So we got our motorcycle license about 9 years ago, but we barely got that bike, and then we sold it once our son was born. So I took a 5-year, 6-year hiatus, and like finally got back on the bike truly like this year within the last year and a half. So for my sake, like you almost have to rewire again, be like, okay, I do have this. I can do this. And you're 100% right when it comes to that mental, like I am my worst enemy when it comes to that side of it.
Yeah. I think a lot of women are. I think we have our, just kind of, that's what we do.
But that's what builds you up though too. So like, I get that I'm like a little bit more harder on myself, but when I see the results or I see the things that I'm actually capable of doing, it makes it worthwhile.
It's very rewarding. Yes.
Got it. Gina's asking, if you do end up getting a new Indian bagger, what do you think you would get?
So it used to be the Challenger. But I don't know. What Indian's been dropping, I feel like there's hints of like some kind of Indian chief or something.
Yeah.
So
in a couple days.
I want to wait. Exactly. Well, I'll let you know after Monday. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm obsessed with the Chieftain. I don't know. There's something about it. I've loved the Challenger, but
you rode both.
I've rode both.
I haven't been able to ride either. So
I just liked dash wise. I think that's what set it up for me.
Okay.
I loved having it a little bit closer, and like the fairing, I liked a little bit more. I'm like swing more towards that side of it, but
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
see. I eventually need a touring bike, and so I need to upgrade from my little sporty. Let's see. So Anonymous is asking, who inspired you to start riding?
Who inspired me to start riding? That's a good one. I don't know. Okay, this is gonna sound so cheesy, but when I first started to learn to ride, I went through that little phase of like stalling all the time. I wasn't gonna figure this out. And then it was around that same time when Captain Marvel came out.
Oh, nice.
And so after leaving that movie theater, I was like pumped. I was like, I can do this. Like she could do it. Like she's this like fictional supergirl, but I'm a huge like nerd and I love comics.
Yes.
And so after seeing that movie, it was just like a different switch was turned on. And so I guess if it was a person who inspired me, it was Captain Marvel.
I guess that's fantastic. I know you shared on your Instagram account recently too, Mike from, is it the
Oh yes, he is from American Pickers.
Yes,
Mike Wolf. Yeah,
yes.
I watched that show when I was put on bed rest when I was pregnant with my twins.
Oh my
And
God.
that was the first time I kind of really even learned about Indian motorcycle. And this was before I even ever imagined I'd ever ride a motorcycle. Yeah, I was like, one day if I do get a motorcycle, it would be an Indian. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. So wait, how long were you on bed rest for your sake?
Oh, I was on bed rest for like 2 months. Yeah, I had the twins a month early.
Wow. Everything went like according to plan for twins' sake?
Yes.
Sure. Good.
Yeah. I mean, other than I had no kids and then I had 2 all of a sudden. But
you got thrown into the fire very quickly.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, okay. Jumped right in there.
Juggling that for your sake, because like one is super hard, but how do you do two?
I don't know if it's just because it was almost 10 years ago or just because it was just so traumatic. I don't really remember.
That's a good way to
I mean, I remember like bits and pieces of it. It's like all a blur. But
it's a whirlwind.
I'm okay. They're alive and healthy. So
That's the perfect. How do you sum up parenting? That's exactly how you sum it up right there.
Exactly.
It's fantastic. Oh man, I am trying to see if there's any other questions. Oh, he's thanking us for taking the time to answer people's questions. Let's see here. I had the same feeling, but it was after I saw Rooney Mara in The Girl in the Dragon tattoo. Ooh, Honda CB 350. Heck yes. That's fantastic. Oh, man. Well, I'm going to kind of cut it here. I hate, we could talk for 3-4 hours long. And so it's kind of good. You're leaving for more. I love that mentality that you have as far as riding. Okay, I enjoyed the ride, but you're always kind of left with wanting more. So 100%. I'm so glad to have you on for tonight. And congratulations again for the ambassador program. They couldn't have picked a better one for yours. So I'm excited to see what you roll out with them. And I'll be for sure following along. And like I mentioned, you guys, I've got her links in the description here if you want to take a peek at her YouTube channel, her Instagram account. They're all on there for your sake. I think I put your Facebook page on there too, so that's in there.
Okay, cool.
As well. But yeah, you are super inspiring, and just within these last 3 years now, what you've accomplished is just absolutely incredible. And I'm sure the people that are watching tonight or watching the recap of this video can completely relate from.
Yes, thank you. So, thank you. Thanks for having me. I feel honored. I'm one of the cool moms.
You absolutely are. Don't sell yourself short for that sake. So, thank you so much, my dear. We'll see you soon, okay?
Okay, bye.
Bye.